Do you ever feel like you're doing all the right things, eating salads, taking your supplements, taking superfoods, and you might even be going to the gym, and yet you still feel bloated or foggy brain, or you're struggling to lose that weight? And you might be thinking it's your gut. And if that's you, you're in the right place. Welcome to Spa Life TV. I'm your host, and I'm so excited what we're going to be doing in the next few videos. This is the beginning of technically like almost like a gut healing course. To be honest, I just wanted to pull back the curtain. I just want you to feel better. And I want you to know I'm not holding anything back. I want you to know how to heal your gut. The reason it's so important is because when I got sick, I had already been, my body was giving me signs before I got gastric lymphoma. I was feeling bloated all the time. I was actually kind of always bloated, even as a little kid. As a teenager, you do all the sit-ups and I was still bloated. So I already had a messed up gut from when I was younger. And then the stress and the go, and the GMOs and the way we eat, it really started to affect my health. What did I do? I started taking more supplements, taking things out of my diet, trying my best to be healthy, not really understanding that your gut is the central operating center of your body. So if you think it's your skin or autoimmune or even cancer or your hair, your nails, your liver, pain in the joints, your gut is responsible for making sure all that runs smoothly. So before you decide to do a detox program or a weight loss program or resetting your hormones or anything like that, it's so important that you set the foundation, which is your gut. So imagine this. The gut is it's like Grand Central Station. If you've ever been to Grand Central Station, it looks crazy. People are walking in all different directions. I went with my friend, and we went to New York, and we went to Grand Central Station, and I stood there, and I just stood there and let people walk, and they didn't even see me. They just came at me, and they crisscrossed, and it was wild. And everyone's going different directions, but they know where they're going. They know they've got to get to their gate. The trains are on time. The place is running efficiently, I suppose, but it's running efficiently. Trains are getting to where they're supposed to go, and people are getting to their gates. That's kind of like the gut. Everything comes into the gut, and then it has to be distributed, has to be broken down into vitamins, minerals, amino acids, proteins, essential fatty acids. It just has to be broken down to be utilized for the body. And that's responsible for your immune system, your hormone balance, your ability to lose weight, your ability to have brain chemicals. Everything has to go through the gut. And that's why I wanted to make this series of videos on how to heal your gut, but for reals. So on this video, we're going to talk about really the foundation. We're going to set the foundation for the next few videos. And in this video, I'm going to share two major frameworks that are going to be foundational in your journey to healing your gut. And then one super awesome tool, because humans, we function in habits. And tools are designed to make it easier. You see, we function in habits, but habits are created by repetition. And what happens? We have good intentions to do something, but then life happens and we stop going to the gym. We stop doing what we did before that got us feeling better. But we need to establish those habits, and that's what tools help us do. So that's what we're going to do in this video. And it's like an introduction. It's going to set the foundation for the rest of the videos on how to heal your gut. So here we go. This is the first framework that I wanted to share with you. This is a roadmap, and this is what we're going to be going through in our next videos. We're right here at Start Here. And then we're going to go into inflammation and how to lower inflammation, the things we need to do to heal that. And then we're going to seal and heal the gut lining. And then we're going to learn how to hypernourish and saturate your tissues with the nutrients that we need to be able to even heal the gut. And then how to saturate your tissues with the nutrients to go to the rest of your body and heal the other organs that you want to heal. A lot of times people struggle to lose weight because they're actually malnourished. Their body doesn't have the vitamins and minerals and amino acids and essential fatty acids, the things that it needs to feel satiated, to feel nourished. And so the body has to hang on to fat to stay healthy, or we're hanging on to fat as a protective mechanism. There's so many reasons why we struggle to lose weight. It's not just calories in and calories out. It's way more sophisticated than that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to learn how to repopulate. What is the microbiome and how do we repopulate the microbiome and have a healthy microbiome? And why is that even important? Because it's not about just taking probiotics. And then finally, we're going to review. This roadmap is something that you're going to learn and you're going to go through all the time. And then we're going to review what have you experienced, what are you feeling, how do you want to change it, things like that. And then ultimately, our goal is to live the spa life because we're here on Spa Life TV. What does that look like? And that's our ultimate goal. And here we are at Start Here. Like I said, I'm going to share with you 2 frameworks, which is one was the roadmap. And then the second one is an acronym, AID. And before we begin, let me just tell you, you might think the acronym's a little woo-woo. It does feel like that, right? Or like, oh yeah, I can just ignore this part. Please do not ignore this part. Ignoring this part, I almost lost my life because I didn't do these things. I had all the tools, the resources. I had the knowledge. I just didn't know how to put it together. I didn't know how to prioritize things. I didn't know what was important and what came first. And I didn't know that I was making myself sicker by stressing or overthinking, staying up late, researching, hypervigilant, control, all of that, chasing what? I don't know what I was chasing. All of that is what got me really, really sick, and I almost lost my life. So stick with me, and I think you'll like it. Okay, so the first one is assessment. It's so important that you know where you are in this moment so that you can get to your destination. Assessment, how do you do that? Well, there's lots of ways. There's like the level 1 where you can use the tool that I'm going to give you, and that's an assessment. Some of you might want to use a tracker like an Oura Ring where you wear and it tracks your sleep. Some of you might want to do continuous blood glucose monitor. Some of you just want to track your blood pressure. Or maybe you want to do functional labs. Everyone's at a different level of what they want to do, but for the basic is the tool that I'm going to share with you called the Health Grid. So assessment, you have to know where you're at. So important. And then awareness. Awareness means it's not guilt. It's not shame. It is about noticing. It's about noticing and taking full responsibility. If let's say you want that piece of cake, just say, what kind of nutritional, just becoming aware that that's what you choose to eat, and that's okay. But awareness is using the Health Grid to mark down, hey, how did I feel after that cake? And this is what the Health Grid looks like. This is the one tool that I told you I was going to give you. And this was so important for me because as I was healing from a ruptured stomach and almost losing my life, I needed something to get me out of my head so that I can still do the healthy things, which felt like a full-time job. And I needed something to make it not so stressful. How can I streamline it so that I can continue to live my life and still do the healthy things? Because if you've got appointments and doctor's appointments and supplements and all these modalities that you want to do, it can get overwhelming. This is how you track it. This is how you know you're balanced, because we actually do have to live a balanced life. They say balance is a myth. Yes, that's true. But if you're off balance, something in your life is going to suffer. And at least if you have the Health Grid, you kind of become aware of why things are suffering. So as you can see, it's got a section for food. And then in the middle, you track your water, your sleep, your supplements, and then your fitness, and then your family, because relationships is way more important to your healing than you can imagine. And then fun. Fun isn't just like hanging out at Disneyland, although that's fun. Fun is, what are you enjoying? Like, you know what I love to do? I love to take my dogs for a walk. To me, that's the funnest thing every day. And yes, I could just put my headphones and just ignore what I'm doing, but I could choose to really be present and really appreciate that I love taking them for walks. That's fun. Okay. And then freedom. Freedom is that open free spirit. I'll do another video really going into depth of this, but all I want you to do is to print these up. There is a link down below and you can get this health grid. And you might think, well, I can do this in my journal or I can do this online. I urge you to print this and write it with a pen or a pencil and track what your week looks like to become aware of what your life is all about. And then you're going to flip it over on the other side and just kind of jot down things like that meal today really messed up my stomach. Or, gosh, I went walking after I had lunch and I noticed I wasn't as bloated. Start making notices of things and just write them on the back of this health grid. So for a couple weeks, you are going to track what you do in a week. And then eventually, then this is going to happen naturally. If you keep using the grid, you're going to start planning. Like all of a sudden, you're going to think, oh, I know what I want to eat tomorrow. So you're going to start planning your week. And that's when this tool becomes powerful. That's when this tool starts to turn it into a habit. So this is the health grid. And once you've used it for many, many months, then you may not use it anymore. And that's okay because you've established some new habits. But then let's say you go on vacation, then you come back and you feel like you're off track. You just get another grid, you start it all over again, and you start tracking and becoming aware. So the next letter in the acronym is I, for identity and intention. Your identity is so important. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of buzz about you have to have you have to know your identity. But really, identity is the voices in your head, the words that you're using, the words you're speaking, the words you're saying to yourself in your mind, your beliefs, and that becomes your identity. Now, here's the crazy part. Whatever you're thinking in your mind, whether you're saying it out loud or just saying it in your mind, your body can comprehend and can hear everything you're saying. The weird part is the body is literal. So if you say, oh, I'm always fat. My parents are fat, so I'm always going to be fat. If you say that, your body will believe you, literally, even if, let's say you're thin and you say it because maybe the scale went up a little bit. That is the identity that you are telling your body to live out. So whatever you're telling your body, that becomes your identity. Whatever you're speaking out loud or the thoughts that you're using. Now, I know that this is the woo-woo part. I get it. I totally get it. But stick with me because it is that important. Because whatever your identity is, that's what you are going to become. We need to reprogram some of the belief systems and the words that we use. And it's not easy. Trust me, you could pick up a book that teaches you how to think happy thoughts and think and speak positive. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a repetitive habit. One time I used to wear a rubber band on my wrist, and every time I said something negative, I would just snap it. Not because I was trying to punish myself or feel like shame, but I needed that awareness. I needed that reminder so that I can start thinking better thoughts about myself. And then intention. Intention is, remember we talked about assessment and awareness? You have to know where you're at. Intention is, you have to know where you want to go. What is your intention for healing your gut? Why do you want to do this? You can have the best intention, and I'm going to give you the tools to fulfill that, but you need to know what your intention is. If you're just trying to lose weight because you have an event coming up or you just want to get relief, well, you might be able to get relief kind of quickly, but do you want to heal your gut so that every other system in your body runs efficiently and smoothly? Also, what's your intention for the week? That's the importance of the health grid. On that health grid, after you're tracking for a few days to a few weeks, then you start using it to start planning your week. Now you're living with intention. You're going to plan out your meals. Now, again, the grid is not to create rigidity, hypervigilance, shame, guilt, any of that. That will backfire. You can't heal the gut if you're in a state of guilt, shame, fear, anger. You can't heal the gut in those states. That's like pouring kerosene on a fire that you're trying to put out. It makes no sense. So when I say no shame, no guilt, like it's physiology. You just have to let it go. Just let it go. Okay, so that's what intention is what is your intention? And the third letter in our acronym framework, AID, is decision and determination. Decision is basically the choices that you're making. Now, we already know that. I know you know that, right? It's like, oh, make good choices. It's the decisions that you're making. Yes, of course. But when you're in it, it's like, make good decisions when you're driving and use your blinkers not on your left side, but on your right side. Okay, those are hard things to remember. We don't use our blinkers on the right side. We use it on the left side. So those are hard things to remember, right? But if you go to another country, I don't know, maybe they have the blinkers on the right side. I have no idea. But when you try to do things that, so driving a car is like a habit. It's automatic. But if I ask you to do something totally different while you're driving a car, you have to make a very conscious decision every single time you do that until it becomes a habit. Same thing with health. But that's why you have the tool, so that you're making decisions before, like you're planning out your week and you're making the decisions when you're not in a stressed, busy mode. So hopefully like on a Sunday afternoon, and let the whole family know. They're going to get excited. And when they see you living with such intention, they're going to want to do it too. And determination. Yes, there is some determination. It just, sometimes you just don't want to go for that walk. Sometimes you just don't want to go for that gym. And let me tell you, or that gym workout, let me tell you, if you decide to do cold plunges, like every time you don't want to get into the ice bath or the cold plunge. But why do we do it? We have an intention. We set it on our schedule. We want to make it a habit. We have all the reasons. Determination is digging down deep. And sometimes it's just digging down deep, doing something that you don't want to do yet, but you know it's good for you. And if you do it enough, it will become habit and you will actually enjoy it. A little bit of determination over a period of time becomes a new habit and becomes a whole new body, a whole new health, a whole new identity. Because healing your gut isn't just about stopping the bloating or digestion better. Yes, all that's great. But healing the body, healing the gut is a lifestyle. It's a choosing to be healthy. It's a choosing to have an efficient operating system so that as you get older, the body runs efficiently. As illnesses come around, you're more resilient. So healing your gut is the base foundation for everything else you want to do. So this was video number 1, and this is so important. Please watch this over again, remind yourself, share it with somebody who needs to heal their gut, who wants to heal their gut. To make sure that you get our next video that comes out, please subscribe and hit the notify bell button so that you know when the next video is coming out. The next one's going to be on inflammation. We're going to learn about inflammation, and I'm going to give you some real tools on how to lower inflammation in your body. It might include cold plunges, but it might not. You're going to have to come and find out. So we'll see you on the next video.